Hello and welcome to Bud's RPG Review, where I give my thoughts on role-playing games, card games and board games. Today's review is the Grognard Files Annual 2017. This 24-page fanzine was given to attendees of the first Grog Meet in 2016, as well as patrons of the time, and was limited to a print run of just 100 copies. To the cover. Here we have an excellent original piece by Russ Nicholson of Warlock of Firetop Mountain fame. It shows Daily Dwarf, Dirk as the three-faced warrior, Ed as the rogue looking for a bargain, and Blythe the wizard reading the rules. An excellent piece of work. Moving to the inside, it's interesting to note that all of the adverts here are for businesses that were patrons at the time, which is a really nice touch. The contents page has a little foreword by Dirk the Dice, where he talks about the phrase unashamedly nostalgic being used as an epithet to describe the Grognard Files, and I feel it is completely fitting to this day. The first section is appropriately called Do You Remember the First Time?, where we have Blythe's account of him, Dirk and Ed's first foray into the world of role-playing, with RuneQuest being the game of choice. It's an entertaining piece that recounts their initial struggles with the system, recruitment and decisions at the beginning, and it's a heartwarming tale of a long-lasting gaming friendship in a more wistful, carefree time. This is followed by a section called Open Box, where game masters from Grogmeet submitted reviews and accounts of their first introduction to some gaming classics. The first is Sacco So's West End Games' Star Wars story, where he picked it up in a gaming shop in York, commenting on how it is a remarkably modern game considering it was released in 1987. After that we have a review of 1975's Boot Hill by TSR from Doc Griffiths. Here he recounts a story of inheriting a Lone Ranger annual collection and scrapbooks of Debbie Harry and a yearning for the West. He talks about how it initially left him cold on first read, but that it is an overlooked classic with incredibly focused chapters on the things that you would expect from a game about the Wild West. The next one is 1989's Shadowrun by Fassa, written by Crispin Watkins. He goes into the derision that his group had towards decking in the game, and how he went into involving the other players in it by cleverly using virtual reality worlds. Following this we have a discussion on TSR's Gangbusters by Dissecting Worlds. Here he goes into the revelation of having a full colour map, energetic art and an Art Deco rule layout, and the enjoyment he had playing it over the years. The next section is by Ed in the Shed and is called Return to Grognardia. This is where he goes into the various versions of the fungi from Yuggoth, with the other versions being Curse of Cthulhu and the Day of the Beast, and talks about which in his opinion is the best version that you should pick if it's something that you're after, even including the prices you should have expected to pay on eBay at the time. After this we have a mini fate-accelerated Jerry Cornelius scenario for 1 to 3 players called Safe Word, which is actually pretty decent. Following this we have a mixtape that Dirk informs me was unique to all 100 copies of this fanzine, with each one having a different title. This is for number 65 out of 100 and is You Coma Marilyn Monroe, a short story by J.G. Ballard, and it's a lovely touch. The actual article here is a play report. The Armchair adventure is tied up, which tells the tale of them meeting up and playing the contained fate scenario in Manchester's Fanboy 3 in August of 2016. Next we have a section called Rune Bites, where we have a RuneQuest short story by Justin Hill called To Run With the Brother Dog, which if I'm honest could have been based anywhere as it is very Glorantha light, though was quite good. After this there is a quite large article called Those Who Are About to Die, where Dirk goes into the postal games of the 1980s, and it is quite superbly told in vivid detail alongside artwork from the time. It even touches on the moment where Dirk met one of the game masters of the Gladiators Gazette, the devilishly named Beelzebul, at Dragon Meet. Also contained in this issue is a retrospective of Gladiators Gazette with Beelzebul himself, otherwise known as Jan McManus, some 33 years later, going into his thoughts on running it and eventually his dad shutting it down after discovering him as high as a kite on the solvents that the printer used in the shed he worked in. There are some genuine laugh-out-loud moments throughout. Finally, we have a section called Small Ads, with the title Tim Berners Who, which talks about the classified ads in pre-miniatures only White Dwarf, as well as the critical mass letters page and the various discussions that used to take place. Lastly, but definitely not least, we have a picture of Carolyn Munro with Tom Baker in The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, as well as our very own Dirk the Dice with her below. I feel I should probably give it a... The Grognard Files is clearly a labour of love for all involved. Rarely do you see a fanzine that evokes such fondness of wistful days gone by and a desire to reminisce about it in a way that makes you wish you were there. The altruism and togetherness that the fanzine portrays almost bleeds from the pages, with the free advertising for Grognard Files patrons who have gaming businesses and some articles being written by patrons. There's a real sense of community that seems to have only grown in strength as the years have gone by. Sometimes, in gaming circles, the word Grognard is used in derisive tones, often describing those that are unmoving in their opinions and unwelcoming to newcomers, though I have to ask, isn't that true of all fan bases? As someone who has gamed for over 35 years, this is a fanzine I can relate to, as some of the experiences were not unlike my own and even caused me to remember things that I had thought long buried in the annals of time. Obviously, as this print run is limited to 100 copies and given away to supporters, you can't buy it as a print on demand. However, you can buy this issue in PDF from DriveThruRPG, and Dirk reliably informs me that any money made from the sale of these will continue to go to yogsothoth.com to help keep them afloat, which I think you would agree is a lovely gesture. And it's pay what you want, so there's really no reason to skip on it. If you are a UK gamer from back in the day, this could be just what you need in your life at the moment. There were moments while reading this that it made me genuinely smile, and I think you will too. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, please make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Also, if you're interested in buying this product, put some links below. Lastly, if you like what I produce here, then maybe think about supporting me on Patreon or even becoming a member of my YouTube channel. Bud out.